Come on, Adam. This crap again.
Come on, Dunkles, just get on with it already.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Pour me another one. Make it a strong one. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
Good evening, gentlemen. Hopefully you can hear us fine now. We're ready to roll tonight. We're going to get started on doing a little DDC 8 planning. And it's time to rock and roll, guys. So we got the Tiki Gods on board tonight. Joe Masters, Terry Hawkins, and myself, Adam Dale. I am in an island frame of mind tonight. I am a few days away from heading to Miami and then hitting the high seas for a few days. No Disney World this spring break, but we'll be doing a little Caribbean and there'll be a lot of rum. So, gentlemen, we have some announcements to make tonight. And we're going to kind of kick off tonight is the official kickoff to DDCC 8. In January of 2020. That sounds like a long time away, but it will be here in a blink of an eye. We have a house booked for the party house.
Woo!
Party house is booked. We are confirmed in. We have dates locked in. We have things ready to rock. We already have people confirming themselves, getting ready. We will set up and get deposits in or payments in for beds and rooms and get all that squared away. We will be revamping this DDCC Rocks website over the next coming week with more information. And we will be updating our Give Kids the World giving page, along with setting up some other things for the rest of the year. One of those being we are going to participate across the country in coasting for kids. If you guys are anywhere close to Atlanta or would like to come into Atlanta on August 10th, I know some of you have some prior commitments on August 12th. I will not hold you to coming into Atlanta on the 10th. But we will be coasting at Six Flags, or as my daughter calls it, Ghetto Disney World in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to try to get with Steve and get that team set up. So hopefully we will get some of you guys in. I believe there is an event up in Pennsylvania that will be in conjunction, I think, with Hershey Park. Hopefully we can get some of the Pennsylvania contingent to sponsor that one. And who knows, there is a possibility that me and AP might fly up for that. Hopefully we didn't just lock up because I'm watching two screens. So let's see what we can get going here. Joe, do you have any updates? I've been flapping my gums a little while.
I was waiting. So, gentlemen, welcome back. 2019 DDC 8 conversation. Again, we've said it a dozen times. 8 years now we've been doing these things, and 8 years we've been hanging out and having a great time in the world's greatest location. So what is the dates that probably the first guy's going to arrive on property? Somewhere around January 3rd, January 4th. We're saying the 4th, but we know people will be there earlier.
Are coming in January 4th.
Well, let's
this Canadian guy.
Let's go ahead and Joe, we have our dates, official dates for the house. I guess we should probably share that. Seeing how we booked those, I believe.
So what we're at right now, if I use January 4th as the early arrival date, and the date you're about to give, we are 291 days away.
291 days to January 4th. 227 to Fast Pass bookings because I'm getting in early. And 107 days to ADRs.
I think the word is bastard.
I'm afraid that Terry is about to pay us back in spades for what Joe and I did last year. And we only gave you 1 day. He's going to give us a whole freaking week.
Yep.
Get in New Year's Eve.
Yeah. See, there's a high possibility that he gets there on New Year's Eve and Joe and I are sitting on the stoop at Animal Kingdom Lodge going, we need a bed.
We need a bed. A balcony, something.
We need a balcony, a bed. We just need some place that, can
2 air mattresses waiting.
Can we at least just park under your name?
Your names are on the reservation anyway.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Oh, so good a shape right now.
That's even better.
You better pick me up with rum if that's the case again.
I booked that stupid villa and got everything ready to go, and I am trying to get my exact dates with my contract I signed pulled up here. Because it is signed, it is paid. If you guys bail and we don't go, I'm out of grand. So guess what? Me and Joe are splitting the house.
Because I know I'm going.
If none of you turds show up, I sort of have a house. Let's see here. What does this say? I bounced the dates around a couple different times, and that's what I was trying to look at to see what I finally settled on. Oh, I do remember now what it is. We have the house from because remember, Joe, we surprised everybody, and we arranged the house from January the 4th. You may come into the house at any time you want to. If you want to show up at 6 a.m. on January 4th, do not look to wake me up because I'll probably be crashed out on the couch. But at 6 a.m. on January the 4th, you can show up at the house. And we have the house until Tuesday the 14th. So from the 4th to the 14th.
We know some of you guys won't be able to do that, and obviously the Run Marathon weekend is your limited time to actually make a solo trip, and we're sorry you couldn't stay longer. We'll be glad to see you though. But for those guys that can possibly take an extra extended vacation, we're glad to have you at the house.
Well, we did that, and you can come in anytime that morning of the 4th. That way we did it so that we paid the extra, so we had that house all day on that Saturday. That way, because we had a lot of people that, as they were doing and planning flights this past year, it kind of was, well, I got a flight that come in really early, or I could get a flight that comes in. This way, everybody can show up. Yep. We're ready to roll. We're good to go. So that's the plan. The plan is hopefully maybe one of our favorite teams will make it into the championship game, and we will enjoy the championship game on that Monday night before we depart on Tuesday. I had to kind of work it around a little bit because, I just couldn't stay gone for 2.5 weeks this year. It wasn't going to happen. Terry, you're being awful quiet.
I'm going to miss the house this year.
I mean, you come over, right?
Oh, I'll be by the house for sure.
You can leave. You can give the kid the Animal Kingdom Lodge room. She'll be all right.
Yeah. She'll be all right.
They'll come check on her
when I get home.
We won't tell. We'll bribe her not to tell. How's that? We'll take up a fun. Emma, don't tell your mom.
Yeah. I've tried that. It's the first thing out of her mouth.
She can come over and hang out in the pool or the hot tub, depending on what the weather's like.
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed we'll be by.
There's a unique game room upstairs. So another house has been selected that has a pool table and game room inside the house upstairs.
I was working on seeing if I could display that on our feed here and go through maybe put them in a window down here. So Terry, explain. Go ahead and explain, because now we are at, we've kind of got a plan together now. It took a little longer because, well, that's just what happens. Is sometimes you just got to plan a little bit. But now things are laid out, and you guys that are trying to in-book some DBC around us or do some stuff, I'll tell you a little bit. Let's tell them a little bit about the house. I'm going to get up that. I've got that. That's just the picture link I'm trying to find, Joe. The Google Docs link.
Oh, the Google Docs one?
Yeah, the Google Photos link. That way I can just click through the photos. But we hunted around, and it took us a little longer to find a house because, one, we looked at Reunion Resort and where we stayed last year, and we had a couple of deals with things, and we could have got a deal on the house we stayed in last year, but there were some issues, and we decided not to roll the dice with that. Well, in the midst of all of our negotiating with different owners and whatnot, the entirety of Reunion Resort ownership changed. They were bought out by a Japanese conglomerate that has an office based out of Atlanta. And I did a little more digging around, and they will probably do some nice work on it. But ultimately, we decided it was not worth the rolling the dice to be a Windsor again. And so.
Yeah, well, you guys did some fantastic work looking through different homes and all sorts of different suggestions. You put a few options out there to all the guys there a few weeks ago, and ultimately you've settled on a home there that looks really good. And it's I don't think it's going to have the home we had last year was good. It was a great place to crash and stuff there, but there were a couple of little hiccups. The prime one being the hot tub issue. The fact that when you heated it up, it drained.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the good thing was it kind of set the bar a little low. Right?
Yeah.
So it made it easier to improve on this year.
Fine.
Because it was our first year.
They were offering you a deal for next year, but they also moved the price up. So it
was a wash.
I think you've got a far better deal with what you've picked in the end. It looks like quite a nice place.
Yeah, we think it's going to work out. I mean, it's 9 bedrooms, 6 baths, so should be a fun time.
Yeah. Who gets the Pac-Man room?
The Pac-Man room is part of the game room.
Oh, that's
so those are all designer walls in the game room.
I see bunk beds though, so.
Yeah, there's a bunk beds in the Harry Potter room.
Yeah.
Y'all if y'all give me just a second, we're going to try to throw this up here on the screen, but I'm having to move a bunch of crap around to figure out how to do this.
We'll see which muggle gets to the bunk beds there. But yeah, it looks really good there. For those that can't see it, I can describe it to you, but Adam will get it up soon.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it. Just a second.
I think that kitchen's going to be quite a bit nicer there too for prepping and hanging out and that. It's wide open to the living room, and it's got stools there and that there. So
yeah, I originally linked it in the chat with the guys since we announced it.
So let's see if this works.
Okay.
So hopefully y'all can see that. It should transition over in just a second. If somebody's watching the stuff, we're going to flip through and scroll through some pictures here. So this is the front of the house. We're going to be staying in a resort called Windsor West Side. This is the lobby. Great, so it's not changing through. So let's see. Go back to this. I wonder why that's not. I got the. Well, that sucks.
I think they got Joe posted it up in the group me chat there. So
good. Okay.
Those guys have brought it up, and
yeah, they can flip through it on their own. But yeah, so just overall looking at the big picture, that like Terry was saying, you got a huge dining room table there, similar to the dining room table we had at the reunion house, and then you got a bar right next to that stems off the kitchen because it's a very open family area, living space. There's 5 or so seats at the bar that faces the kitchen counterwork. Brown cabinetry with granite countertop or marble countertops. Can't tell right there, but a very open community space there for all of us to hang out and chat. And then as you break around through the rest of the house, right around the corner from that table is one of the 2 king bedrooms. And then up the stairs there, you start to walk into what is the game room part of the upstairs. And then off of the game room, each one of those walls has bedrooms behind it. So when you look at the nostalgia wall or the Connect 4 wall or the Pac-Man wall, those are walls that lead to bedrooms. Pairs of bedrooms have shared bathrooms, right? So there's like a shower and then a sink on both sides of that shower that those bedrooms are sharing. And several of the bedrooms are set up that way. I think the Star Wars room leads in the same shower and sink area between that and the Harry Potter room on that end of the building. So, again, plenty of beds, plenty of bathroom space. It's going to be great. We don't have a theater room per se in this particular house, but as you can see on one of the screens, one of the pictures there's a pretty good sized screen, big TV in the game room upstairs. So whatever movies we end up watching,
Harry, you just won't let Frozen go.
So there's a air hockey table, I think it is, and the pool table and a basketball machine. So plenty of activities in the house to do, of course. The distance from this resort to Disney is a little bit shorter than it was from the reunion resort, so not quite as far a drive.
Going in the back way.
Going in the back way, fair enough.
Yeah. We'll go in the back way, like some of the guys that rode with me to Contemporary a couple of days. We'll go in that back way, and which will actually work out on the marathon weekend days, Saturday and Sunday, because we're going to go that way anyway.
Right.
So that'll be helpful. So what questions do you guys have to go right now?
Anyone?
So did you want to go over the payment, or is everybody booked in there yet?
No, we don't have everybody booked in. What we decided to do is we had a couple of folks that jumped early and booked some solo rooms. Well, actually, we have 4 of the rooms that have king beds in them or queen beds in them are booked. Those guys agreed to make a higher payment to have a room to themselves. So what we have in the house now is 5 bedrooms with either 2 twins or 2 full-size beds in them. And so
how much are those going for?
Those are going to be $250 for the entirety of the time. That's 10 nights or 10 days. The 4 through the 14th, that's 10 days, right, Joe?
Yep.
About $25 a night or so.
Yeah. So, and then we have the garage, and it is being finished out. So there's a possibility that the garage is a fully finished out space with a theater room or another game room in it by the time we actually get in it. This is a new property that these people acquired. I've actually talked to them quite a bit. And this couple, they are retired real estate people in the Orlando area. They own 42 properties in the Orlando area. And they're very nice. And they live locally there. They actually live in Champions Gate. And said they would take care of whatever needs we had. And their specialty was trying to cater towards large groups either family reunions or get-togethers. And I said, well, we're kind of a hybrid. We're kind of
a brotherhood.
Yeah, a brotherhood of sorts. And so they told me they have a couple of other houses that will probably be ready. But before we get there, if we happen to expand beyond the house that we're in, we probably can find another house in that same neighborhood, which would be kind of cool if we need to. So,
cool. So even if you book up, we know there's always latecomers.
Now that's right? let's talk about that.
Book up, there's a good chance you can get.
Our pricing tier was a special price for those solo bedrooms. Then we had $250 for the dual bedrooms, and we're going to throw out something because we can actually put up to 20 folks in this house without hitting Florida law capacity. And so we're going to allow the rest of it to be filled up with air beds to fill up to capacity. And that's going to be $150 for, once we fill the beds, then the air beds will be available for $150 for anybody that wants that for the entirety to stay.
You can't get a room on, you can't get a space, a sidewalk on Earl Bronson for an air bed for $15 a night. So, a great deal.
So that's kind of our plan. That's the outline. We are not budgeting for food and other things into this yet. Once we get the house booked and we get into December, we're going to then start a list for things that we need to pick up, or a shopping list, and everybody's going to be asked to, either A, say, I will pick up enough of this for the house, or we may just come up with a contribution, and Joe and I'll run on Saturday to Sam's and just pick up the stuff for the house.
Yep. Yeah, what we want to avoid doing, and this is what we run into this year.
Well, this is the thing. Hold on a second. There's a couple of guys saying we need a blender, or we need this, and we need that. Well, the one thing is that I think this house will be much better stocked. I've already talked to the owners. And when Joe and I get there early Saturday morning, we're going to inventory the house before we do anything. And whatever we need from that point, we can go get a few things. So go ahead, Joe.
No, I was going to say what we want to try and do is really tailor the things we bring into the house to the people who are going to consume them and use them. Because when you guys left this year and got on the plane, it was Adam and I, and those of us with cars, kind of stuck figuring out what we were going to do with all the leftovers, and we drug a bunch of stuff home. Not that I didn't enjoy eating half of it or most of it, but probably ought to curtail, what we purchase a little better towards the DDC and not have too much overage.
Yeah, we thought you bastards were going to eat and drink a lot more than you did.
Yeah.
And we all thought
the problem was that everybody showed up with a leader. So
and we appreciate that, because that's what
but we also did a lot of eating out. We did more at the parks than we had planned. We thought we might, which was fantastic. But yes, and Michael said more brisket.
Okay, I will say this. I am going to, when they put packed briskets on sale, they usually do them after the 4th of July. I am going to buy 3 full-size packer briskets and put them in the freezer to save the smoke for DDC.
Okay, that's good.
That is 60 pounds of beef.
Ooh, that's awesome. So what are you bringing the rest of the guys?
Well, see, my thing is that we actually had about 13 pounds of beef when I showed up, but by the time we got to the picnic, we had already, Joe and Terry
we had already sampled it.
Had already eaten a good 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds, and we ate one whole butt one morning for breakfast. We ate a butt cold out of the refrigerator for breakfast one morning.
Good.
So that's some things people are talking about. What are our thoughts on the picnic and some other things? I think we're going to stick with the tentative plan that I know we have a lot of guys that talking about running the half and doing some things, but we're gonna sort it out with Steve and make sure we have our stuff laid out for our Give Kids the World Day, because that is our focus this year. We are going all in with Give Kids the World, and we're gonna do our morning there. And if anybody wants to do another shift there or something, we'll try to plan that out accordingly. But we're planning on right now tentatively doing our Give Kids the World that Saturday morning, if that's what Steve thinks we should do.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to go with that.
Yeah, we want to bring Give Kids the World
do the
today.
picnic the same day as Give Kids the World. Hopefully that'll be Saturday. If we can't get in on Saturday,
yeah, I'm still on.
Give Kids the World, we'll do it on the same day, on whatever day we can, the Friday or whatever there. And that's
Guys, I got to step away for just a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we wanted to bring Give Kids the World Day into the middle of the DDCC, since we this year had it originally on the Monday after DDC weekend. A lot of guys had to go home and missed out on the opportunity, and so we thought we'd bring that into the fold of what the DisDads are really all about, and giving back to the community and the people and the fellowship that we have. So we said let's make it part of the DDCC events and bring it right into the middle of the convention. And then, like Terry said, the value of doing that on the same day we do the picnic, then that could be a full day of things we're doing as dads that doesn't involve a park ticket. For those of you that are buying individual park tickets for your vacation, that could be one whole day you don't have to worry about, versus getting screwed out of a half a day or whatever by doing Give Kids the World one day and then the picnic one day and still wanting to get some park time in. So we figured if we put all that together, it would go a lot smoother, and then everybody could just hang out at the house, swim in the pool, or watch movies, whatever it is. And for those of you that have APs, obviously, go run and do your thing.
Yeah, and there may be some dads who don't want to volunteer at Give Kids the World, and that's fine. It's your vacation, right? So you've got that day to roam the parks as you will, and we'll see you at the picnic.
Yep.
There, so it's I think it'll that's probably the best day to do it, because it's the traffic, the difficulties of getting to the park on the Saturday are that's the toughest day of the week to get there.
Yep.
So it just sort of makes sense to try to Give Kids the World and picnic that day.
Yeah, let's go a different direction. For the guys that were there this year, obviously you know what the events are like and how we enjoyed hanging out, and Mr. Penguin activities, which set a precedence for the DisDads convention that I don't think any of us ever expected. For the guys that didn't come this year, Paul, you're in for a treat. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. The whole Give Kids the World thing was a blast, but being able to hang out with this whole new group of guys was just absolutely entertaining. We've made a name for ourselves. You can check and see that Disney's guest experience team got made a permanent thing. So those guys that we made friends with will be there when we get back. So everything is so much better coming into the next year. We know everything's going to be there and in place. Yeah,
let's take a second there. Just to congratulate Ray Vaughn and the rest of the guest experience team for becoming permanent and going to all 4 parks, not just permanent at Magic Kingdom. But
and who knows, Ray Vaughn may be a big dog by the time we get back.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to reach out and go ahead and make that.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to him in August when I get down.
I still hadn't decided that I ain't going to jump on a plane on Sunday morning.
Well, we'll see you there. I'm still trying to get the lunch reservation expanded for that Sunday.
I got clearance to go to. I got clearance to come to Canada, but if Joe's going to show up, I mean, if we want to get together before then, I might as well just show up in Orlando for a couple of days.
Well,
there we go. Perfect.
I'll know for sure in about 2 days.
You'll find out if you get your. I've done just about spent mine, Joe.
Have you already?
We'll talk about that later.
But yeah, so I too am looking at being down there in August. For the guys that do know or don't know, I'm going to tell you anyway. The Lawson wedding is down there then, so there's quite a few guys. Tim Hicks himself is officiating, is my understanding.
The Right Reverend Tim Hicks.
The Reverend Tim Hicks. The sober Tim Hicks.
He shall be forevermore referred to as the Right Reverend. His holiness is I'll come up with I'll have the right name before we get there.
Yeah, so that's August 12th. So there's going to be quite a number of dads coming through in and around that time. Some a bit earlier, some a bit.
Terry?
Sorry?
What day are you leaving from down there?
We get in August 9th and we leave on the 16th. Okay. So we're only in for a week.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the 11th through the 17th, so Sunday to Saturday.
I might can breeze in for 48 hours.
There we go.
If somebody come get me at the airport and whatever, I'm sure we can figure that out. I hauled enough people around the last 2 years. Somebody can come get my butt at the airport.
Yeah, I'll probably drive, so airline come get you.
Well, I was looking at flights, and as much as I don't want to, I could fly out on Frontier at the butt crack of dawn, and it's like $120 round trip.
Nice.
And that's cheaper than put gas in the car.
Doc even volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be a blast. Terry, what'd you say the days were for our ADR window?
ADR window is, in 107 days, I'll be making ADRs. So, well, because can still make those online, right? Because that 180 days for me winds up July 4th. So
an interesting tidbit to throw into there. The recent announcement that Galaxy's Edge would be opening at the end of August has maybe spared us a little bit in January. I'm wondering if, because it won't be so fresh.
Right. A 6-month head start is nice.
Yeah, that's a 6-month head start before we get down there. Maybe, just maybe, it won't be as bad as we're anticipating, because we really
not meaning to crush your hopes and dreams, but Pandora had what? Like it was full,
almost a solid year.
20 minutes before park opening for 2 years straight.
It wasn't every day though. When schools were in session, it was much better. And we are going to have, from the 5th to the whatever, that schools are going to be in session. The 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of January, schools will be in session. And that'll be before the runners and stuff come in. So we might have a few day window there. Those of us that come in a little early. Don't discourage me, Terry. Let me hold on to my dream. Don't be a complete bastard about this. I mean,
I will be nice, but and really, guys, that's why, when you ask about the itinerary for that week, we don't know until fast passes get booked.
And here's the thing: is we're probably going to split up, and we're probably going to have to get a couple of folks that have tickets already or have passes already to help us spread the love on some reservations, because we may be double booking reservations up until the fast pass window to have maybe 2 or 3 tentative itineraries for restaurants and stuff, because we have a 180-day booking window and we have a 60-day fast pass window.
Yeah.
So it's we're gonna have to do a few things.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at restaurants and see. I mean, the only restaurant, and if guys have other suggestions, let me know.
If the Cantina's open, we know we're going to go hang out there.
Sorry?
If the Cantina opens up, we're going to hang out there.
Yeah. But the only restaurant reservation that seems to be a solid we have to do is Beer Garden. And quite frankly, that sucker would be available 30 days out. So I'm not really that worried about ADRs. Probably going to try to book the Cantina if we can. Whatever in Star Wars is taking reservations, wind up booking that a few days and then see what we get fast passes for, and then cancel out the others and make some people real happy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Beer Garden may not be a real high priority. I mean, last photo I saw of Paul Hajar, he was over at Baseline Tap House having a pretzel. So I'm not sure, you know.
Well, I'm open to trying something new.
Well, we're definitely going to gear things around getting a day in of trying to explore Galaxy's Edge and get in if there's any fast passes and stuff. Somebody else mentioned that they're not doing some of the fast passes for some stuff to begin with at Galaxy's Edge. They're doing standby only. Hopefully, by the time we get around to that 6-month window that we're going to be in, they will have tanned that down and have already run through the holiday crowds, and we will be in a better position. I will tell you, having done, and this is based on Pandora, and the year Pandora opened, we made multiple trips that year. Summer right after it opened, fall after it opened, close to Christmas after it opened, and then back in for the DDC after it opened. And even Christmas, leading up to Christmas, before school let out, it wasn't as bad as I've seen that first year. So, but I'm going to bank on that. And Terry, you're not going to bust my bubble. I'm going to reach through this thing and I'm going to slap you. I'm going to put it in my head that it's going to be okay.
We'll work it out. We will get at least one day in Galaxy's Edge with the attractions, aiming for 2 days at least for people coming in from January 4th on. The rest of it is a bit up for grabs. Again, I'll book fast passes for everybody that links to my account, and if everybody decides, I will book fast passes for Galaxy's Edge every single day. Just remember, we do run into the issue for fast pass bookings of you can only have 10 days worth of fast passes booked. So if you're going beforehand and I book you up 10 days, you won't be able to book fast passes until you cancel out of the ones that I've booked you. But we'll cover all that in a couple months when we're closer in. What are we missing, guys?
Let's see. The fact that we're not ready. We've got some page updates to do, guys. Really, we do. We've got to get all the content together, and like Adam said, we'll put together a spreadsheet or some sort of page together that allows us to keep track of who's staying in what room and who's paid and things like that. We'll get all that together here near shortly. Hope you guys are excited. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, August 29th. It's going to be a lot of new this year. There's a couple more restaurants and things that have opened up. Disney Springs is still opening up restaurants, obviously. Riviera is going to be open by the time we get down there again. So many changes. Disney's doing a great job of keeping things updated. The gondolas, as you guys have seen, most of you that have been watching any of the Disney blogs or the videos on YouTube and stuff, the gondolas are moving.
I'm sure they'll be open in the next month.
Yeah, a couple of months maybe. Yeah. Depends on how long they want to run test scenarios on them.
They'll be open before Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. So let's see what else. Oh my gosh, so many things, so many changes. Lots of progress going on. They've made an announcement that there's going to be a new crepe station in France, next to the Le Monsieurs and all the other Monsieur Paul's in place.
Why do we need another crepe station? Don't they have is there like a high demand for crepes? Are we like running out of the crepes?
I think they're wanting to turn it into more like a quick stop snack station type thing. So there's going to be an internal, and then there's going to be an external, like a quick window.
Yeah, that's just another one. That's another one of Disney's blow-off moves.
Yeah, I think part of me thinks that it's more of the another place to stop and get food based on the capacity they're going to expect and drive towards with Galaxy's Edge and all the overflow heading to the other parks to avoid Galaxy's Edge. Well, they want to make sure they have plenty of stations.
And prepping for the Ratatouille ride, right?
Yep.
Yeah, whatever. Disney's half-assing it. It's okay. Let's come up with some new food. There's other things to eat in France besides crepes.
Speaking of new food, they also just announced a new lime whip, if you will, that I believe is being served out of Aloha Isle. So the many line stations of getting a Dole Whip have now been contaminated with other artificial whip type desserts. So be interesting to see how that turns out. If the lines continue to move the same way they always have, or if it gets worse, or who knows.
I wonder if they're double limes.
Could be.
Then we can call it a Dole Lime Whip.
I know the one that they announced last month.
Isn't that called a frozen margarita? Isn't that a frozen margarita, Terry? I swear, if they start serving lime whips with tequila, Disney's just jumped the shark at that point.
Right.
Darcy, you wondering about snails? Yeah, you can get the escargot.
They do that. They do that every Food and Wine and every Flower and Garden for sure at the little kiosk. I've had them. They're pretty tasty.
You used to be able to get them at the restaurant in France. I'm sure you still can.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got frog legs, Kermit legs or not. They're a little smaller than the turkey legs, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they never did do frog legs really well there. If you want good frog legs, that's a good Cajun thing. You gotta get those. You gotta get a Southern boy to cook those. Cornmeal, deep fried, little.
Another thing we'll probably see this year, and again, one of the reasons I want to go down in August, obviously the end of Illuminations this year. We're going to get the interim show supposedly sometime coming up this summer.
When are they draining the lake?
I haven't seen the date yet.
Yeah, who knows?
It's going to be rather odorous.
So there'll be a whole new interim fireworks show, and then a whole new show that will be carried out for the long term after that's been released. Oh my gosh, what else? So yeah, the stones, the other stone, not the Leave a Legacy stones over at Magic Kingdom, but the walk in the World Path stones.
The pavers.
Pavers, yeah, that are outside of Epcot and various places. Those are being pulled up. They announced that here recently. So along with moving the tombstones of legacy tiles that are over in front of Epcot and trying to clean that space up, those will get moved outside the perimeters of the front gate of Epcot, so be out of the way, and it'll fix the view of Epcot to the Spaceship Earth again. So that'll be awesome. What else? Man, there's so many things. I didn't keep up with them all. But you guys know, you keep up with the blogs, at least most of you do. Keep up with the blogs and the Disney news. We're just echoing the things we already heard. So the question is, who's excited?
Oh, God. I can't wait.
It's bad enough we waited a whole month to even have another live stream.
I know. Jeez. That was crazy. I think we're all kind of twitching.
Jonesing for a fix, man. Jonesing for a fix.
Yeah. Guys, we're talking about the coasting for kids. There's lots of other places that they're doing that, guys. So, and I don't think they've announced all the places yet because I don't see anything on the West Coast. And they usually do something, usually Knott's Berry Farm. I think DBC's been to that one. And that there, so just keep an eye out. Just Google coasting for kids, and we'll come up with the Give Kids the World site. And as they secure dates, they'll pop up there. If you are looking at starting a DisDads team, like Adam's doing,
give us a little bit till we get everything officially set up. Because once I get the official DisDads page set up, then Steve's going to link any teams we spawn off of that up to that.
Okay. Is that going to be before your cruise or probably after?
After my cruise.
Okay, so look at 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Couple of weeks out. I just haven't had time to get everything. If something was to happen and I get to get some stuff done before I leave, life got real busy the last couple of weeks, and then I got a vacation coming up. They got little girls had a birthday, lots of things happening.
Yes. Happy birthday, Chloe and Claire.
Yeah, they turned 15 today, so they're getting big, man.
Adam's last cheap year.
Yeah. Yeah.
They get expensive starting next year.
Yeah, that turn 16, that insurance is gonna go way up.
Yeah, I just renewed mine for a cool $2,000 for 6 months.
Yeah, I will take your 2,000 and give you a raise.
5 people on a policy with 3 of them under 21. Hammers.
So yeah, we're gonna figure some stuff out, and I will try to get that done. We will try to get everything done and everything raised out. So that we can get the pages updated and everything done. That's going to be paramount in the next few weeks to getting that done and getting everything nailed down. So it's going to hopefully all be good, and we can have lots of information out there. I am going to be trying to solicit some folks help this year because we got a lot going on, and I'm going to need some people that are pretty good spellers, pretty good typers, to do some content work. Basically, I need you to be proficient in using Microsoft Word or a word processor, and I can turn you loose. We are going to need some social media folks to help run our social media accounts. That's kind of becoming the face of the group. As we go forward, we're going to need a little help with that because I haven't. Between Joe and I, it's getting really hard to do to keep all this stuff up to date and all of our stuff up to date, and that's where we need some help. But we need people that are understand what we're going to do and how we're going to go about it, and help us sell the story of the dads consistently. And we're going to try to put that together. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to start on one of our Google Docs pages. I'm going to start writing up some DisDads history and some ideas about how this group came about and how we did some things. And not try to embellish it at all, but try to make it very appropriate to a mass audience, so that we have a consistent story. But now we are, we're moving into that full-fledged social club area, and not just a bunch of guys hanging out on the internet. And we got a purpose. We've got some hearts and minds set behind some stuff, and we're going to get some stuff going. And Perry, it looks like Perry just volunteered to run Mr. Penguin's page. Appreciate that, Perry.
And Matt's going to help out there. Thanks, Matt.
Yep, I see that. Good deal.
Volunteer or voluntold, either way.
I'm going to circle back around. I need to check in on Jeff. I hadn't talked to him in about 2 or 3 weeks. I know
I did see that he posted recently, so he's probably getting a little free space, getting caught a little bit.
He got snowballed under with stuff at the end of the year, going into the first of the year. And so I'm going to get back with him and hope we can get some stuff going. And yes, I know you have a degree in web design, Jay, and I would like to leverage some of your graphic design skills so that I don't have to do it all. This past year, pretty much everything that was graphic-wise was stuff that I did in my free time. And my free time is getting a little bit more scarce as I'm trying to, some folks know I'm trying to get another position at the office that will get me out of a 24/7 support role, but will probably require that I do a lot of time educating myself because it's going to be a lot of new field work. Let's get some guys together. If you want to volunteer to take on a role, please send me a message in GroupMe or Facebook. I need a good contact email address and everything. That way we can get some stuff set up and get everybody set up. And I can share with you the accounts and the logins and all the credentials we've got going and get everybody on the same page. And so we have a team of dads running this stuff. Because again, this is, I mean, not to whatever, but there's been a lot of effort put into producing this show and getting it up and getting things running. And, you know, tonight we were on about a 15-minute delay because everything was updating and everything was running. And I was running behind because I was trying to get stuff going with kids. But we would like to be able to do this more regular. Hopefully we can get a bi-weekly show going again. And we can also get some stuff going where we keep the GroupMe chats going. We keep the Facebook groups going. Everybody keeps the information current. We are a very connected world, and it makes us small. And man, did it make last year fly. So if you can help us out and you want to be part of the online presence and the social media team that we're putting together, shoot me a note. And we'll get you some tasks. Like I said, give us a couple of weeks as we try to assign out tasks. Let me know what you want to help with, and we'll roll with it. And we'll see what we can do. Joe, Terry?
A pretty good diatribe. You did good.
I got to get better at this.
And that's like I was telling earlier. I mean, you and I need to link up so that I can, you know, at least split some of that work that you're doing right now, and at least get some content update going. You can come in behind me and change it, make it look better. But and then, like you said, if we can get some more great minds, great ideas, and talented people involved, we can really make a huge impact on what we're presenting and providing for not only our guests but our existing brotherhood. There's so many things that we can do to expand on what we've already done. I think we've kind of just scratched the surface of making a name for the DisDads at Disney World and Give Kids the World and things we volunteer. There's no end to what our capabilities are if we put our efforts together, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's kind of on my mind, because I know Matt's in the chat, and I just wanted to take a moment. I did it on behalf of the guys, and I know you guys didn't know anything about it. Matt's daughter went into the hospital. She's having a hard time with the Crohn's. Thank God they've got a plan. They've got surgery scheduled. They're going to get her taken care of. But I took it upon myself to say that it was on behalf of the DisDads uncles. I ordered some balloons and Minnie and a Mickey Mouse stuffed animal from the local hospital that she was in and had those delivered to her room. So any of you guys who saw that on the Dads Helping Dads page, that's what happened.
That's awesome there, Joe. Thank you.
Just again, wanting to contribute and say, look, representing us as a group, as dads, this is what we think of and this is how we care.
Yeah.
So again, Matt, sharing details with us.
Yeah, and Matt, thanks so much for keeping us updated on how she's doing. We're all praying for her and we're all pulling for her, and that there, we're very glad that she's there's a plan ahead for her.
Absolutely. So let's see, what else? So many things to do. Such a short 9-month window to get them done.
I know, but it's going to go by in a flash of the eye, Joe.
I know it is.
We're gonna get to December, and then you and I are going to be scrambling around yet again.
Yeah, it does seem like there's lots of time, but remember, we've got an idea for a summer fundraiser for Give Kids the World that I think Carl would appreciate if some people are able to give him a hand on some of that stuff, and the social media stuff and that there, and we had these plans for DDC 7 of things we were going to do in the park, but we got busy. We're there having fun too, and if we got some other people along the way that are able to take on some of the little things, we can piece it all together afterwards, and do some filming. But the social media stuff, I think we saw what an effect that had on the cast members.
Yep.
And they're all on that stuff. So people far more skilled than myself, and people with more time than that are able to share the burden of the load that's fallen on Adam and Joe. That would be fantastic. I know nothing about that stuff, so.
Well, Terry, you need to learn with the new job. Congratulations, by the way.
Thanks.
You better get proficient.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot to learn.
Yeah, funny you were talking about all the cast members and stuff that we engaged, and I'm looking at one of the pictures on the ddcc.rocks page of photos from DDCC 7, and there's one of that we took of the cast members that night at the park that was just the Get team and the people in the street. It wasn't any of us dads in the picture, but from somewhere, and I don't know where this lady came from, she's holding a pan that looks like a pan of food or something, and she just stepped into the picture for a moment. I don't know where she was headed or where she came from, but it's just entertaining that these people don't mind stepping out of into the moment to take a picture and be part of a group, even though they got a job to do. So I just thought that was so cool. I don't remember seeing that before. I'm like, wait a minute, what's the lady in the pan doing? But yeah, so I mean, it's not only a cause and an effort that we're trying to give back with Give Kids the World and all the other fundraising efforts, and helping each other out throughout the year, but again, giving the entertainment value back to these people who are working daily, deal with customers of all styles and backgrounds, some good, some bad. And then they come across people like us who are just full of joy, walking through the park, singing, chanting, singing happy birthday. And it's, that's what makes their job good too, right? That's why we love Disney, man.
Appreciate it, Joe.
Yeah. Well, we got anything else to announce, or we just kind of don't want to let you guys go, but we're kind of out of news. The house looks great. You guys did fantastic work tracking that sucker down and booking it up.
Yeah. Adam put in 98 cents. I put in 2 cents. But yeah, so that part's done. We just got to get the page together and the tracking together, and then start taking the payments, and get all that stuff out of the way so that you guys can get that behind you and sleep knowing that that's already covered and taken care of. And then we'll work on updating the DDCC 7 Rocks page. We'll update the DisDads Club Facebook group page, not group page, but a public page, and then the convention page, anywhere else that we may have any information. We're going to have to create another logo for this year. There's going to be, Adam's going to have to come up with another DDC 8 logo, even if we just change the name or the number. Still good logo.
Yeah, we're probably going to recycle the logo.
Makes
That's
sense.
right on there, Agent P.
Create an image and let's stick with it. People will remember it. See, Agent P's already done. He's got an Instagram account for Mr. Penguin.
Yeah.
What did you name it as, though, buddy? And what email address did you use? Because Mr. Penguin has his own email address at DisDads.org. I would love to know who all the how all of Mr. Penguin IDs got taken that aren't, and they're not really actually used.
Oh, he said he created a new email address too.
See, that's the thing we don't want to do there, Mr. Perry, is we don't want to go create a bunch of stuff. We're trying to be consistent.
Well, you guys can touch base at work. You can meet in the hallway or the little boys' room.
I'm gonna straighten him out.
Office roll.
Compliance versus security. Who do you think wins?
Right.
I know who wins at my organization, but y'all's may be different. Darcy, you know nothing will get done.
Yeah. And Perry can say whatever all he wants, but I guarantee you my CISO swings a bigger stick when it comes down to it. All right, so it's Mr. Penguin at DisDads.org. All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap this up. We've been rambling for a little bit.
Yep.
I ain't even been in the room. I'm drinking water, man.
Oh no!
What? You drinking water?
Drinking water, real water, like H2O, like high quality H2O, filtered.
I killed the last of the shipwreck rum.
I thought Adam would be working himself up for his cruise here, but drinking water.
That's what he's thinking about. He knows he's going to be floating that boat. So yeah, guys.
Well, guys,
jumping in, watching, and joining in the live stream. It was pretty cool to come back after a month and a half hiatus of the stream here, and you guys came in strong with roughly 20 or so watching at one point. So again, thank you for joining back in. Thank you for sticking with us. For those of you that are actually coming to DDCC 8, can't wait to see you. Hope you're excited. I know I am. Those of you that can't make it this year, we're sorry.
Better luck next year.
You had a whole year to plan that, by the way.
and
there's still time.
Let's hear. If you can't come next year, let's see here. There, I'll give him an awe. Or no, more like this. Let's see. Let's laugh at him. There we go.
So we've heard from David Gale, and David's not going to be able to make it to DDCC 8, but he said he might sneak in the weekend before.
Yeah,
Which would be awesome.
So yeah, he was asking about things. He actually has something going on that weekend, but he might be able to slip in up until like Thursday.
That'd be cool.
So I was like, dude, we got the house from Saturday till the next Monday, so you got a place to stay, man.
Yeah.
Because I think he even said that his event that he had to do was actually going to be in the area. So.
Oh yeah, he did. You're right.
That's even better. So, he just can't come stay with us while he's working.
And we'll check in with Jeff Fry, and hopefully he'll get some breathing room and
he can come fry it up with us.
Come fry it up.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, hopefully we will have some updates soon. Who knows? There might be a update one night next week from a tiki bar on a boat in the middle of the ocean. It's possible. It's possible. I understand on the ship that's been refurbished that I'm getting on, there is a tiki bar named the Bamboo Room that has been added.
Nice.
So, so I'm definitely going to have to go check that out. Research, man. Research.
The ideas for that for the boathouse there when we build that.
Yeah. So yeah, and we need to circle back around to this idea of possibility, having a dad's, another dad's cruise or something again. I'm thinking, if we're all down there, maybe in another year, not this coming year, but maybe a year or two from now, just do a 3-day, kind of like Hicks did, do a 3-night weekend before we come in and stay. That might be fun. And it's cheap. I mean, I was looking at January prices. January prices are dirt cheap as long as you don't go on Disney. But, Royal's going to actually have one of their big ships staged in Port Canaveral starting next January. Yeah, I know you're going on the cruise January 29th next year, Darcy. We're talking about January 2021.
Is that a joke? There's no February 29th.
But yeah, I was kind of thinking, maybe 2021, 2022, we pick one of the other cruise lines that's putting their big ships in Canaveral and go over, do a 3-day, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday cruise, and then come back in for the week and stay, get a house or something and stay. Those 3-night cruises, interior staterooms on some of those other ships, you can fly solo for about $700 for the 3 nights or less. If you can do double occupancy and get by for like $400 for the 3 nights or less.
Yeah.
We'll cross them out, but I'm sure that the Canadian travel agent can help us pin that down in 2021.
Combine something. 2021, we're getting awfully close to DVC 10, and the
Tokyo.
If one of the dads wins the lotto, there's some fantastic cruises over to Japan.
Oh.
Yeah.
But we're gonna figure that out. But I was just thinking, that might be a fun way to do that. It looked like Joe and them had a good time. But when we start thinking about cost and things like that, we have to transition it down. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead. It looks like a lot of guys are starting to sign off. We've lost about 8 folks out of our peak of 22 tonight. Woohoo! 22 live viewers. So I'm going to transition this thing off. We're gonna fade out, and we will see you again in a couple of weeks. Until then, stay sober.
Night, fellas.
Rum Ramblings has been brought to you by members of the DisDads Club. Due to the consumption of 99 barrels of rum, we do this for viewers like you. We hope you've enjoyed this production and will join us again. See you real soon.